Buying a fashion brand watch is equivalent to putting your money down the drain. And that's the sad truth, because I was also a victim. I have two fashion brand watches from very popular companies you might be very familiar about. So let's start with the first one. This is a Fossil Chronograph watch, and when you come to the specifications of any fashion brand watch, you'll have to get one thing clear. Normally when you go into the website of any fashion brand watch, so in this case, they'll give you the warranty period, they'll give you the glass which they use. They're using a leather strap, and they don't give you a function, they just tell it's multi-function. They don't give you what movement they're using, they just mention it as quartz or just automatic movement. And they give you the case diameter, thickness, case width, and the material and the dial color. So you don't get any other information from them because they don't source it from a specific company, they do it from multiple companies. It's not in their hands to do it, they just give you the basic ever information you can get about the watch. When it comes to this Fossil, it has a very good design language and the dial color is very good. But instead of 3 chronograph wheels, which is basic in almost every watch, I'm not saying that there are no 2 chronograph watches, but this one is. Placement is different, the indices is different. At least this watch functions as a chronograph, but some of them don't even do that. So that is a major ripoff of what you get when you buy a multi-function fashion brand watch. There won't be any specific design in these watches. They give you every other design you want. They look very cool, they have a lot of designs, but you don't have a specific design. You can't say it's a dive watch, you can't say it's a chronograph, you can't say it's a dress watch. It is just a watch which is fancy. The second watch we have is another chronograph from Tommy Hilfiger. So this brand has been a very popular brand in the past and now as well. My first ever proper watch was a Tommy Hilfiger. Back then I didn't know that these watches were just hoax, but I had to get one because it looked so good and it looked so premium. When it comes to this watch, you have a gunmetal finish to it, the Hilfiger logo and the indices, which is again a very different pattern. Only the 12 is visible, whereas the other indices are not, which is different from the traditional watches. And you have a chronograph wheel, but it doesn't do the chronograph function. On the right hand wheel you have a date window, on the left you have minute window, and at the bottom you have a seconds window. It just portrays as a chronograph, but it is truly not. So you're paying a very premium thinking that it's a chronograph, but it is not. Hope you're liking the video so far. Don't forget to hit the like button, and if you're new to this channel, I do everything related to watches, and watch reviews, watch discussions, and everything related to watches. Subscribe if you haven't already. When comparing both of these watches side by side, you can see that the design of these watches is just incredible. They look so premium, they feel so premium, they look out of the box from any traditional watch. But what is inside the watch is what really matters. Normally when it comes to a watch, we either have quartz movement or automatic movement. These fashion brands do both of them. When you go for a quartz movement, you cannot define a very good quality quartz movement. So as far as I know, Timex do a very great job. Casio does a really great job in quartz movements. Seiko also does some of them. Citizen also has quartz. And there are more Swiss quartz movements as well, which are more expensive. They don't use any of these movements, but they use unnamed, very cheap movements. I haven't got the opportunity to look into one of those movements inside. If I can, I will definitely show that in a future video. So these cheap movements are not even 1/4 the price of the watch. So you pay so much money for these watches, but you don't get the quality movement inside. Basically, these watches don't have any resale value. So you buy them, you throw them. If you use it for years, and you throw them, it doesn't work. So that is what you can do with these watches. This is almost similar to buying a fake. Even fakes have premium movements than these watches. So this Fossil, as far as I've seen other reviewers do, they say that there are some inconsistencies in the watch. In these two models which are we seeing right now, the design language is inconsistent. Otherwise, you look at the watch, it looks very good. These brands were not as perfect as what you're seeing right now. These two models, I don't feel there's any inconsistencies as such except for the price. So let's talk about the Fossil brand as such. So when you look at Fossil as a brand, They used to do very good watches back then. They were not a fashion brand, they were primary watchmaking companies. But what happened right now is they own a group of fashion brand companies, or they make watches for a few fashion brand companies, and they totally rip off their customers. These companies come under Fossil Group, which is Michelle, Kagan, Armani Exchange, Diesel, DKNY, Emporio Armani, Kate Spade, Michael Kors, Tory Burch, Watch Station, and Zodiac. If you buy any watch from these brands, you're basically buying a Fossil watch in a much higher price. When it comes to the question, should you buy one of these fashion watches, I would say if you're a person who wants a different kind of watch, you can buy a fashion watch, but your budget should be less than 10,000 rupees. Many of these watches are circulating in the market right now. Fossil used to be a king in these watches till they didn't do other companies. When you take Versace or Armani or Louis Vuitton, they make very, very expensive watches like 80,000, 90,000, 1 lakh, even Gucci. What you're getting from those watches is not even equivalent to a Timex Marlin. So that is the sad truth about this fashion watch industry. I'm not blaming the company as such. If you take Louis Vuitton, their apparel is top notch. You take Hugo Boss, their perfumes are top notch. All those things the brands do the best is what you need to get. You don't need to get their watches because they do that too. That's where the line divides. Every popular brand also go into the watch industry to make their mark in it. Most of them survive very well because of consumers who think they're buying high quality watches. Take the instance of these two watches mentioned in the video. The Fossil is priced at 11,650 and the Tommy Hilfiger is priced at 17,995. For these two budgets, imagine what you can get from a company like Casio or Timex. I'm not saying that these watches are very bad. I'm just saying that these watches are not worth the price. You don't get a functional chronograph, you don't get a high quality movement inside, you get basic water resistance or no water resistance at all, you don't get any loom as well. Are these prices justifiable? You tell me in the comments. These were my thoughts on fashion brand watches as whole, with two examples from leading fashion brand companies. I'm not saying these companies are cheating you, they're just ripping your money out. So next time when you're thinking of buying a fashion brand watch, think twice before you buy one of them. If you have a friend who loves fashion watches, share this to them, and if you feel like this video needs to reach more people, share it to them, and subscribe if you want to know more about watches. If you haven't seen my previous video about my watch collection, check it out here, as well as the playlist of all the videos I've made so far over here. I'll see you in another exciting video next week. Peace out.